Hi, I'm Inaaya, an Epic Staffer, and today I'm going to interview people around campus about a woman that inspires them.
So there were two women that I was thinking of for this. So they're the founders of Canva, which I'm guessing that everyone in the school has at least heard of or used. And then I really like their grit. So they were a small startup when they started from Australia, I believe. And then they got rejected like at least 100 times, and they still kept persevering. And today they have a really, really successful business.
I think one woman that inspires me is this one woman named Miss Pratibha Mehta, and she is basically the chief of business operations at this one startup. And she's very inspiring to me because, where she came from, she came from India, right? She immigrated to here, and she had to go through a lot of struggle in order to get to the position where she is today. And I'm family friends with her, and it's really inspiring how she went really from living in a third world country village to being now the chief of business operations at a startup. And she's really great in that whenever I talk with her, she's very supportive, and she's a very strong and independent woman. And
I would say my grandma, because she worked really hard to get to where she is. So I think, her parents didn't have a lot of money, but she worked. I remember she only had like a few pairs of clothes, but she worked really hard, and she became a doctor and was able to raise a family and provide for them. And she's super loving and caring, and I hope to be just like her when I grow up.
My mother, she does a lot of hard work. Like, even though I go in and I tease her and everything, she does a lot of work in the scenes. I never really recognize that, and I really appreciate her for what she does. Without her, my life would be all messed up.
Someone that inspires me is, I'm part of this organization called WMN, and the CEO, her name is Mahika, really inspires me because she's just really doing the most, and it inspires me to work harder and try my best for the organization.
Someone who inspires me is actually my basketball coach. She started out as she started actually really late in basketball, but then eventually she worked her way and she got into college basketball. So she's proved to me that if you work hard, you can get to places that you can never even dream of.
This is alumni. Her name is Patty Patricia Chang. She was a track student, and she was a student athlete, and she was the team mom.
She really inspired us. She kept inspiring us to keep going forward, and she always helped us clean up after meets when we didn't do it for ourselves.
I would say maybe Anne Hathaway or Mary Curie. I think they're both people that women who have done great things for us and overcame a lot of discrimination and doubts that were put.
My great grandma, she was an artist in China before the Communist Republic.
Also my grandma, she was an engineer. Both of my grandparents were engineers.
Wow.
So they're really good role models for me.
My mom.
Can you tell me a little more why?
So she came to the U.S. She didn't come with a green card or a visa, so she couldn't work at all. And then I don't know, life was hard for her at the start. Everything that she owns currently, it's all self-made. She has absolutely no help from her parents or from my dad or anything. My dad helped her emotionally, but it was all her. Yeah, and she's really happy now.
I think my mom really inspires me because she's so caring and also tough at the same time. She's able to take on a lot for the family and help me and my sister get places that we need to go. And she's really supportive, and she's made me who I am today in many ways.
So my mother, I feel when I was a child, maybe because I spent too much time with my mother, I liked my dad more, but now as I'm growing older, I'm realizing all the sacrifices my mother makes. And then someone else who inspires me, I watched this TED video about Sor Juana Inés de la Cruz, who was a nun, and it talked about how she faced racism because she was half Mexican, and also how she joined the convent and helped her sisters and all, so she didn't have to get married.
A woman that really inspires me is Caitlin Clark, because she's broken so many barriers for women's basketball and has inspired so many young girls around the world who love playing basketball. And I just think that's really powerful because of how much about the inequality in athletics and basketball especially. And I just think it's really important that there's people and there's inspirations like Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, so my favorite woman is Marie Curie. I think she's really inspirational because she made a lot of scientific discoveries.